We've got a great batch of games to close out the month, including a title with some serious JRPG vibes, a time-twisting shooter, and a couple of gorgeous new planets to explore. Plus, we've even thrown in a game that's arriving at the start of October as well, because you know what? You deserve it.
When it comes to Grails, any Indiana Jones fan will tell you how important it is to choose wisely. And at the very least, we can promise that Tainted Grail, Conquest, won't cause you to age rapidly and then crumble into dust. We're like 80% sure anyway. What Tainted Grail will do is provide you with another great roguelike RPG to dig into, complete with that dash of deck building that has become so popular in recent years. It all goes down inside a beautifully twisted dark fantasy realm full of weird creatures, some of whom you can rescue and hang out with, and others who you will need to bash into oblivion with a battle axe. Hashtag sorry not sorry. The looping roguelike structure works really well with such a rich setting because each run not only sees you becoming stronger and devising new strats, but also just learning more about the strange world and its even stranger characters.
A famous writer once said that we tell ourselves stories in order to survive, and that idea is made literal in the gorgeous 2D platformer Lost Words Beyond the Page, where the level is shaped by the story being told. The game takes place within the pages of a young girl named Izzy's notebook as she tries to write her way through the perils and pitfalls of life. Sometimes it's a private journal allowing you to run and jump across her scribbled thoughts as she tries to process everything. Other times you'll escape into the fairy tale world that she's created, dealing with meddlesome Digins and irritable sprites as you try and restore peace to a kingdom that has been torn apart by catastrophe. In the end, the two versions of her story combine for an emotional 1-2 punch that might just leave you lost for words. Grab this one from September 23rd on Xbox Game Pass for console, PC, and the cloud.
Like many games, Subnautica took us to a far-off planet full of strange plants and wondrous creatures. Unlike most other games though, it expected us to carefully survey our new environment and document what we found, rather than just blasting it to pieces with a machine gun, which turns out is also super fun. Subnautica Below Zero takes us back to the same watery world, only this time it's personal. You play as a strong-headed xenobiologist whose sister went missing here some years before. Refusing to believe the official line about her being killed in an accident, you'll be searching for clues while you're scooping through the planet's inky depths and looking for more stuff to scavenge. But as important as your beloved sis Charleyy is, you'll be forgiven for getting a little distracted along the way, simply because the new world you have arrived on is so darn beautiful, especially in the lush 4K you'll find on the Xbox Series X. And remember, beautiful can also mean deadly in this game.
Life is full of fun little moments where you suddenly realise that you've become an adult. Like the first time you pay a bill, order something sophisticated at a restaurant, or drive your hoverbike into the desert to search for a mask while on a spiritual quest of self-discovery. With its Studio Ghibli-inspired art style, Sable immediately presents itself as the sort of game you want to drive right into and look around. And that's a good thing, because exploration is very much the name of the game here. You won't find any combat or complex puzzle solving, nor will the places, artifacts and characters you encounter move along any kind of central storyline. Instead, your goal is just to wander the desert, piecing together the information and experiences that comes your way into something meaningful. So if you're looking for a change of pace this week, consider following Sable's footprints out onto the sand from September 23rd.
Lemnis Gate is a first-person shooter, which is also a turn-based strategy game that takes place within a time loop. Did that description make your head hurt a little bit? Well, it's both as confusing as it sounds and weirdly intuitive once you start regarding the laws of space and time as something more like suggestions rather than hard and fast rules. Each matchup in Lemnis Gate consists of 5 rounds, and in each one you pick an operative from a range of classes and head out onto the battlefield to try and cause some havoc, just like any other shooter. Things get a little more complicated when you begin the next round and find that the previous one is also playing out exactly as it did before, meaning every shot that you fired, shield you set up, and grenade you accidentally stepped on will happen all over again. Learning how to stack these timelines into a winning strategy adds a whole new dimension, almost literally, to the online shooter experience.
The humble games just keep tumbling onto Xbox Game Pass this week, with Unsighted joining the likes of Flynn, Son of Crimson, and Dodgeball Academia, and of course they've already announced a bunch more titles that are on their way. So be sure to subscribe to the channel to get all the latest on them too. You're going to want to hit that subscribe button, and the bell too if you want all the notifications. Anyway, battling your way through the ruins of a futuristic world, Unsighted sees you scrapping it out with all manner of evil robots, in a desperate bid to keep the rest of Arcadia's non-magnetic population alive. It's got a pixel art visual style that's just dripping with nostalgia and a clever top-down combat system which forces you to time your strikes and conserve your energy to make it through the robotic hordes. Thanks to its non-linear style and the huge range of high-tech upgrades you can choose between to up your abilities, Unsighted comes with a ton of replay value built in. Most importantly, it gives you a dog to hang out with during your adventure. You'll be able to download this one on September 30th for console and PC.
JRPG fans with their ears to the ground will no doubt have perked up at the moment they heard Artisan Studios had enlisted Final Fantasy veterans like Hitoshi Sakamoto and Kazushi Nojima for their latest project, Astria Ascending. So no one will be surprised to find that the game includes a fantastical realm with its own rich mythology, a bountiful supply of stunning visuals, and a turn-based battle system that gives you all the tactical simulation of a chess match, but with the added fun of casting spells and wielding giant swords. If you've already blasted hundreds of hours into Japanese RPGs over the years, then we can probably stop here. But newcomers will be glad to hear that Astria Ascending also comes with a bunch of accessibility settings that allow you to change the difficulty on the fly and to stop enemies from respawning. So whether you're here for an arduous quest or more relaxing adventure, Astria Ascending has you covered.
Finally, kicking off our October haul, we've got Phoenix Point arriving on Xbox Game Pass for console. The hit strategy game might be a little too close to home these days, what with its plot revolving around a Pandora virus which decimates the planet, but then a bunch of aliens turn up and we have to deal with that as well, so when you think about it, maybe it's not that similar. Phoenix Point plays out as a kind of spiritual successor to XCOM, as you try and mastermind your way towards victory against an overwhelming extraterrestrial threat. However, you'll find the job gets harder all the time as your aliens' foes mutate and evolve in response to whatever tactics and technology you deploy against them. Oh, and by the way, they'll also suck up whatever human and animal DNA happens to be lying around for even more randomised, soul-searingly horrible mutations. So good luck, and I'm sure you're going to do just fine. And guys, that's it for this week's Xbox Game Pass update. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye!